All right, Shalom. First, I'll start by saying all praise to Yahweh, Bashim Shai, Bashim Kakadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles that rule well, and salutations to the brothers that's doing the truth and sincerity. Now, this is a lesson on Black Lives Matter. Leader states if U.S. doesn't give us what we want, then we will burn down this system, right? And as you can see, Jake and them out there snapping and whatnot, but that's all because of the agent provocateurs that they got out there that's helping kick off, these protests to where they're going. And then when I play the video, the guy says that he didn't say that, but through prophecy, Jake and the is gonna try to tear this place up because it's prophecy and whatnot. So, but they also use this title like the way they did it, even though he explained what he was getting at, just to have you watch or listen to the clip. So, yeah, I'm going to play the clip first.
Newsom, the head of Black Lives Matter for Greater New York. Good to have you with us tonight, sir. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
So, obviously, people watch what you say in that video that you want to now shove legislation down people's throats now that you have everyone's attention. And you also have said that violence is sometimes necessary in these situations. What exactly is it that you hope to achieve through violence?
Wow. It's interesting that you would pose that question like that because this country is built upon violence. What was the American Revolution? What's our diplomacy across the globe? We go in and we blow up countries and we replace their leaders with leaders who we like. So for any American to accuse us of being violent, it's extremely hypocritical. Now, when we talk about violence, we talk about using self-defense. You said, I understand that. Why are you screaming and not allowing me to talk, ma'am? You asked me a question, allow me to answer. I'm in the process of answering, and I won't be that much longer.
I'm listening.
Okay? You asked what we hope to achieve. We're talking about self-defense. We're talking about 4 or 5 police officers choking someone to death and someone from the community having the training to intervene effectively. We're talking about saving lives. Nobody's talking about ambushing police officers. We're talking about protecting lives. And there's nothing more American than that. And when we talk about uplifting and upholding the Second Amendment, I think that you should be applauding me, seeing as though you guys are huge supporters of the Second Amendment. But it seems to be the hypocrisy of America that when black people start talking about arming themselves and defending themselves, the talk is violence. But when white people grab assault rifles and go to our nation's, their state's capitals, it's all good.
All right. First of all, I've never talked about.
So I'm gonna get a couple precepts on that what he's speaking on, because like I said, ultimately, this is biblical what's going on, and this is how we know we're getting close to the end. So this is 2 Ezra chapter 9, verse 1. It says, He answered me then and said, Measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time when the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning, right? Because this is all prophecy. It says, For like as all that is made in the world hath a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest, right? This is how we know we're at the end, because of the prophecies that's coming to pass. And this is a primary example. This whole Black Lives Matter movement is a primary example of prophecy, and the scripture said it spoke of this from the beginning. So let me get that precept. This is Genesis chapter 49, verse 9. It says, Judah is a lion's whelp. From the prey, my son, thou art gone up. Right, and the prey was Esau, man. Israel, Slakia. The Judites, the blacks, so-called African Americans, forgot who their enemies was, man. You know. From the prey, my son, thou art gone up. He stooped down, he couched as a lion, and as an old lion. Who shall rouse him up? And this is how Yahweh Shai is rousing Judah up by way of this whole these police killing Judah the way they are, you know. But not only Judah is getting killed, but this is what part of the prophecy. Salakia. And this is for the statement, you know, for what she made, because we're really actually not supposed to be getting involved in none of these protests, none of these riots, none of this looting, none of that, because this is the time of the Lord's judgment. You know, the prophecies, the Lord got this happen as a prophecy so that we can get up out of here, not to help go join in and fight and all that extra stuff, man, because then in that case we'll be fighting against Yahweh Shema Shai. So this is Romans chapter 13, verse 1. Let every soul be subject unto the higher powers, for there is no power but of the Most High. The powers that be are ordained of Yahweh Shema Shai, right? So Esau was put in power by Yahweh Shema Shai, man. The Lord used Esau as his sword, you know, as his whooping stick for Israel. It says, whosoever therefore resisteth the power to fight against the power, resisteth the ordinance of Yahweh Shema Shai. And they that resist shall receive to themselves damnation, right? They're going to be condemned, man. They're going to be taken out behind that, man. For rulers are not a terror to good works, but to the evil. And us being out there on the highways and byways and doing the Lord's will is a good work, man. Because the Lord controlling everything. Wilt thou then not be afraid of the power? Do that which is good, and thou shalt have praise of the same. For he is the minister of the Most High to thee for good. But if thou do that which is evil, be afraid, for he beareth not the sword in vain. Right? Esau was given that sword as a blessing, you know, and the Lord letting him put that to use. For he is the minister of the Most High, a revenger to execute wrath upon him that doeth evil, which is the reason why Jake and them getting killed in these streets the way they are, because they doing evil on the side of Yahweh Shema Shai, man. They don't want to come back to the Lord, man, and acknowledge, you know, who they are according to the Bible, you know. Wherefore ye must needs be subject, not only for wrath, but also for conscience sake, man. Right, man.
About my stance on the Second Amendment, you know, that's my, I'm not criticizing you or praising you.
You don't support the Second Amendment? You don't support the Second Amendment?
That's not my role here to talk about my opinion.
I'm asking you a question. Do you support the Second Amendment?
The Second Amendment is part of our Constitution.
Do you support the Second Amendment, yes or no? A lot of your viewers would like to know if you support the Second Amendment.
Well, that's fine. But that's not why we're here. And the only reason that I posed that first question to you, the way that I did, was that I watched you, you know, talking on a bunch of different interviews today. And you said, burn it down. You said, burn it down. It's time. So that makes me think that you want to burn it down.
I said if this country doesn't give us what we want, then we will burn down this system and replace it. All right, and I could be speaking figuratively. Okay. I could be speaking literally. It's a matter of interpretation. Like, let's be very real. And let's observe the history of the 1960s. When black people were rioting, we had the highest growth in wealth and property ownership. Think about the last few weeks. Since we started protesting, There have been 8 cops fired across the country. You remember they were telling us that there was due process. That's why the cop that choked Eric Gardner to death kept his job and received raises for 5 years. Anytime a cop hurt a woman, hurt a child, hurt pregnant people, hurt our elders, there was always a call for due process. You must wait. You must wait. But the moment people start destroying property, now cops can be fired automatically. What is this country rewarding? What behavior is it listening to? Obviously not marching, but when people get aggressive and they escalate their protests, the country listens. That's when you're getting results. Cops get fired. Now you have police officers, you have Republican politicians talking about police reform. I don't condone nor do I condemn rioting, but I'm just telling you what I observed. You're saying that that's what appears to be working and getting results right now, and maybe that is something for everybody to think about.
Right. And let me bring this precept out, because this hold on, slide here. All right, this John chapter 18 verse 36. Yahushua answered, "My kingdom is not of this world. If my kingdom were of this world, then would my servants fight." Right. So if you claiming that you're Israelite and you believe in Yahweh Shai, you're not supposed to be out there getting involved in none of this violence and trying to take up arms against Esau, man. That I would not be delivered to the Jews, but now is my kingdom not from hence. Right, man. So we gotta wait till Yahweh Shai come back in order to take revenge upon Esau. And the rest of the nations are also included. And as far as well, I'm gonna play the clip again.
I just want to put up this quote from Martin Luther King, and I've heard you talk about Martin Luther King.
Is this country rewarding? What behavior is it listening to? Obviously not marching, but when people get aggressive and they escalate their protests, the country listens. That's when you're getting results. Cops get fired. Now you have police officers, you have Republican politicians talking about police reform. I don't condone nor do I condemn rioting, but I'm just telling you what I observed. You're saying that that's what appears.
And a lot of this is happening because Esau set it up to happen, because they still want to bring in their new world order, man. This is Micah chapter 2, verse 1. It says, "Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds." Right, and it's been coming out that Esau has been putting that spirit out there for Jacob to loot and riot, and they've been the ones that's been setting up putting all the boulders or the rocks in places to where the protesters can pick them up. They've been the ones that's been kicking in store windows, burning buildings, stuff of that nature, man. They use their agents to do that, and it was identified, and Jacob is a lost sheep, and of course everybody gonna follow. You see a store window open, you gonna run up in the store, or if it's open enough to where you can fit an arm, a leg, and you gonna kick the rest of it in and go up in there, and protesters everybody that's with you gonna follow. So Esau has been purposely doing that so that Jacob can riot the way they're rioting and everything, man. Just to speed up the agenda, But this back at Micah chapter 2, verse 1 says, "Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hand." Right. So they got the money, they got the power. They set these plans up, and Jacob follow. It's like a psyop mission. Another thing. I'll wait for that. But all right, I'm gonna play the clip.
To be working and getting results right now, and maybe that is something for everybody to think about. I just want to put up this quote from Martin Luther King, and I've heard you talk about Martin Luther King versus Malcolm X, and you said that he was an anomaly, Martin Luther King. He said, "Let us be dissatisfied until that day when nobody will shout white power, when nobody will shout black power, but everybody will talk about God's power and human power." Do you agree with that?
I love the Lord. And my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, is the most famous black radical revolutionary in history. And he was treated just like Dr. King. He was arrested on occasion, and he was also crucified or assassinated. This is what happens to black activists. We are killed by the government. Well, and if you need context, if you read your Bible, it'll say that Jesus had feet like burnt brass and hair like wool. I don't know if you noticed, but our hair seems to be more like wool, and we seem to be likened to that color than anyone else. And, it's just...
And that's how you know the truth is getting out, has gotten out a whole lot more, because at one point in time, you were never hearing nobody come on the TV saying the Lord was a black man, So this is, Esau coming down, and all this truth coming out is to bring it into our kingdom. Long story short, this is Psalm chapter 85, verse 11. It says, "Truth shall spring out of the earth, and righteousness shall look down from heaven." Right, so the truth is coming out, man, and everybody waking up to it, man.
The hypocrisy and the white supremacy in America and in the world that would show us portraits of a pasty white Jesus. Jesus was not white. We all know this.
Okay. I think Jesus is Jesus to all Christians, and people interpret him in imagery in different ways. Obviously, he was from the Middle East. We all know that. That's obvious. So
he wasn't a white man. We all know that, right?
I don't know how. I don't
we all know
see
Jesus
how. He was
white,
Middle
right?
Eastern. Yes, he was Middle Eastern. Yeah. All right, we're gonna go. Thank you very much. I appreciate where you're coming from, and I appreciate you coming on tonight. And I know you're very passionate, and that you want what's best. So everybody has different aims and different ways to get there, but I appreciate you sharing your thoughts with us.
I just want black liberation and black sovereignty.
Thank you very much.
By any means necessary.
Thank you for being here.
All right, and I'm going to finish off with these precepts. Give me 1 second. This is because Esau acts as if he's a God-fearing man, and they swore in on the Bible and swear to uphold the Bible. They have you swear on the Bible when you go to court and all that extra stuff, man. But they don't uphold nothing in the scriptures. Damn. Salaki, forgive me. This is Sirach chapter 1, verse 29. It says, "Be not a hypocrite in the sight of men, and take good heed what thou speakest." Right, so Esau swore on the Bible, but like he said in the beginning, he's been a hypocrite. Hypocrite is means it's a Greek word, Hippocrates, meaning actor. Esau is an actor, man. Esau not really down for Yahweh Shai, so to speak. He's the devil. He's being the devil. Because everybody know that the scriptures is what controls people, and they know that. That's what they've been using, to control the people. That's what has been used for a while. But this kingdom is coming down, and after Esau does his time in slavery, he's going to be wiped out, man. This is Job chapter 20, verse 4. It says, "Knowest thou not this of old, since man was placed upon earth, that the triumphing of the wicked is short, and the joy of the hypocrite but for a moment?" Right? So Esau, him triumphing over everybody, and him ruling the way he's ruling, and being wicked and everything is short, man. And being an actor is short, man. Though his excellency mount up unto the heavens, talking about the satellites, and his head reach unto the clouds, yet he shall perish forever like his own dung. They which have seen him shall say, where is he? He shall fly away as a dream, and shall not be found. Yea, he shall be chased away as a vision of the night. The eye also which saw him shall see him no more, neither shall his place any more behold him. Right, so ultimately, America gonna be destroyed. And Esau gonna go into slavery for 1,000 years, and then they're gonna be destroyed. And righteousness is gonna be back in the world, man. These jakes that's protesting and going through all this hell that they going through, they're gonna be on a level in the kingdom. Kings and stuff, man, over the nations, man. So with that being said, call Allah Yabashima Shai, Bashima Kakadash, double honors to the elders and apostles that we well. And salutations to the brothers that's doing the truth and sincerity. Shalom.